Help! Baby's sleeping, but I'm not. That's the topic of today's video. If this ever happened to you, keep watching. But first, hi, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Valerie. I'm a therapist specialized in birth to six mental health and sleep based in Ontario. And I post all about baby, toddler, and preschooler sleep, relationships, behavior, emotions, all of the things. If you like this video, make sure to follow and come back for another video next time. So today we're going to talk about sleep anxiety. Has something like this happened to you before? As soon as you're ready to go to bed, your head hits the pillow, baby is tucked in and sleeping soundly. When you finally get hit with anxiety over the fact that you just don't know when your baby's going to wake up again and need to feed. So you toss and you turn and you try to go to sleep, but your brain starts asking all of the questions like, should I really go to sleep now? What if my baby wakes in 20 minutes? Should I wait the 20 minutes and see if they're going to wake? Maybe my baby will end up sleeping 4 hours or 6 hours and I will lose on all this sleep uninterrupted. And then you basically just end up with all these thoughts consuming you and not actually sleeping. And you're staying up late and baby is still sleeping. And as soon as you fall asleep, of course, they wake up. And then you start the cycle over again at the next nap or nighttime. And this results in something called sleep anxiety. What is sleep anxiety? It is a feeling of fear or stress about falling asleep or staying asleep. Postpartum, bit of a unique time for that because there's something outside of you, your baby, that might be keeping you up or waking you up. So there's a lot of pressure to fall asleep as soon as they're asleep, especially if you got the very famous advice to sleep when baby sleeps. You might be sitting there and thinking like, oh my God, I have to be sleeping. And the more you're thinking that you have to be sleeping, the harder it is to actually fall asleep. If this is happening to you, you're not alone. Postpartum, your brain is already going through a lot of changes. It's on high alert to watch out for baby. Hormones are all over the place. And there's just so much going on that you're already extra cautious, I would say. So when it comes to sleep and having experiences, repeated experiences where your baby wakes up as soon as you relax and fall asleep can add to this anxiety of whether they're going to wake you up again. Occasional tossing and turning is normal from time to time. Having a hard time falling asleep from time to time is also normal. But if you find yourself in this scenario every single nap and you're actually finding yourself dreading bedtime every day, you might be experiencing sleep anxiety. What it might look like postpartum is dreading nighttime coming, like thinking about the night coming. And I remember this feeling in my body to this day because it happened to me with my first baby. But you're like dreading as soon as the sun starts setting, you almost have this response in your body where you're just dreading it from coming. Similarly, feeling fearful that nighttime is coming, or how long you will sleep before baby wakes. Trying to calculate and predict when baby will wake up again, like, but it's consuming you and it's happening throughout the day and throughout the night, just like nonstop. That's all you're thinking about. Repeatedly checking the time to see how long your baby slept so far, or even maybe how long you slept before you woke up again or your baby woke up again, to try to evaluate like how long we slept and how long we have still left to sleep. Trying to stay awake in case baby wakes up earlier than expected, even though you're tired and also need to sleep. All those can be signs that you're experiencing sleep anxiety. Simple ways to cope with sleep anxiety, things you can try tonight or at the next nap. The first one is very simple if you do have some support or someone else who can step in and help you, but literally having somebody else be in charge of responding to baby if they wake for a predetermined amount of time so that you know exactly how long you have to sleep can be a helpful one. So even if it's just for a duration of an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours during the day, or if it's at night, it can make a huge difference and reduce that anxiety if your focus is really on when the baby's gonna wake. So knowing somebody else will respond can help with that. And another one is actually don't focus on sleeping. Focus on resting. So what I like to say is don't sleep when the baby sleeps, rest when the baby sleeps. Why are we making that difference? It's because resting is in your control. It's a choice. You can choose to rest even if you can't sleep, while falling asleep and staying asleep feels out of our control because it can be oftentimes, especially when we focus on trying to fall asleep. So instead, switch it in your mind to my job is to rest when the baby sleeps, not necessarily to sleep when the baby sleeps, and let your body do the thing. you'll find that you'll more easily fall asleep. It's okay if you sleep, it's okay if you don't. Taking out the pressure out of falling asleep and the focus on something that you can control helps you feel more in control and obviously calms you down and will help with being able to fall asleep. Similar to what I was alluding to already, focusing on what is in your control instead of what's outside of your control can make a huge difference for anxiety. Anxiety often comes up when we are focused on things that are outside of our control. What is not in your control is when the baby's going to wake up and potentially wake you. Um, but what is in your control is what you're doing with your time right now when they are asleep. So you can choose to rest, you can choose to focus on relaxation, you can choose to spend that time however you want. You don't have to focus on making yourself fall asleep. Um, and falling asleep might feel like it's out of your control because the actual, even like when we try and we lie down, the actual falling asleep can feel like it's outside of our control. But relaxing ourselves, thinking about things that are helpful to us, is in our control. So, similar to that, your thoughts, remember that thoughts are not facts. Just because you're thinking something does not mean that it's true. I'm going to say that again. Just because you're thinking something like, oh my God, my baby's going to wake up in 20 minutes, doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean they're actually going to wake up in 20 minutes. Um, so another thing you can do that is in your control is choose what thoughts to tune into. So think about your thoughts in your brain and the things that are going on there as a radio station. You can choose to increase the channel on certain things and decrease not the channel, the volume on other things. So if there are thoughts that are making you more anxious, like thinking about when baby's going to wake up and maybe they're going to wake up in 20 minutes, focusing on that makes them louder. Instead of, for example, focusing on more helpful thoughts like, my job right now is to rest. It doesn't matter when baby is gonna wake up. Right now, baby is sleeping. Right now, it's time for me to relax, and focusing on that, and that increases the volume on those thoughts that are more helpful in relaxing you. Um, think about the positive effects of resting, even if it's just for 10 minutes, and even if you don't end up sleeping, rest is better than not doing any of that at all. You can also try your favorite meditation or box breathing. If you haven't heard of it before, box breathing is very simple, but it is scientifically proven to relax your nervous system and it works really fast. So all it is breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. Literally do this 3 to 5 times and you will feel the difference. If you don't feel the difference, keep doing it until you feel the difference. Instead of focusing on falling asleep, focus on breathing or listening to your meditation. You have to know that ongoing sleep anxiety is interfering with your functioning. If you really aren't able to rest or fall asleep and you're feeling just really wired and it's happening all day, every nap, every night, you're experiencing the signs that I mentioned before, this can be a part of postpartum anxiety. So if this experience is interfering with your functioning or really like bothering you, it is time to get some help and learn more about this. I'll link some resources in the comments. I hope you like this video. Let me know if you thought. Let me know if you tried any of my suggestions. And I wish you sweet kind of dreams. Till next time, thank you so much for being.